Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
Hello, and welcome to Tahiti. Wait, not that Dutch? No. Okay, right. Gotcha. Hi, everybody. It's been a little bit. This is for the week of the Dutch Grand Prix, but we've got a few different things going on because we kind of were saying, hey, we're going to do a summer episode, and then didn't do a summer episode. So this is also the summer episode. Welcome.
Yeah. Which, I guess to start, the first thing is it probably sounds a little different. We are on our upgraded equipment, hopefully. It's probably not perfect yet because we're still working on it.
Oh, yeah. Still learning.
We're going to also have to very much adjust to having a proper vocal range microphone where even if we're slightly off, our voices disappear. So you'll probably hear a couple of that. Also, there's a high-pitched noise. It is currently, the heat index is 102. That's 38.8 degrees Celsius for you guys. So AC is going to stay on. Sorry.
Fuck you, Europe.
It's not. I know it's not as hot as we've been, but it's hot enough. I don't want to deal with it. So.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
We're almost there. We're almost to fall.
It's here.
I mean,
Rumblings.
it's yeah. I think, 80s in the next week?
80s
sure. With a little bit of storm.
I haven't looked.
Earlier
I stopped
saw
looking
that,
because of depression. So, also, if you hear, so new setup. So we're actually sitting down for a change, which is different. We usually don't sit down. We're on mics, and we also can't really see the live recording at the current moment, so hopefully everything doesn't break while we're doing this.
Is there enough of a... No, because it's on that screen.
Yeah, it's
that
completely blocked by the computer. So.
Wonderful.
But yes, upgrades are good. Audio should sound better. I'm sure there'll be some other mixing stuff to deal with and all that, but... So let's talk summer break. We were going to do an episode, right?
We were going to do an episode.
At least one. When everything settled down, we could just do one. Because I wanted to break. I was definitely very much burnt out on just so much F1 towards the end of right before the summer break there. So definitely good. And so it still kind of carried over a little bit. And then summer break was supposed to be this because we basically hit silly season, February when Lewis was like, hey, Ferrari. So I feel like we've been constantly kind of in this silly season.
Yeah, silly season began a long, long time ago, and we're trying to catch a hook into it and hope that it drags us along, but it's just been sort of breadcrumbing us here and there.
Yeah. So the big thing is, obviously we had, on the actual break, like from when the last race to this first race, we only had one driver announce, and that was just Carlos to Williams, which... Woo for Williams. Hopefully Carlos, you'll be okay. But that was kind of like, anyway, that was the only one, and then some staff changes. That was supposed to be the thing that was supposed to be the start the avalanche of silly season, and it didn't really.
No, it really didn't.
And especially because, and we said this before, we're going to say it, especially because that's what seems to be a lot of this summer break is we don't cover rumors because rumors are rumors. Unless it is announced, I don't care. I don't believe you.
I was like, I see 1,000 notifications on my phone a day from various different sources that I really don't trust, but we're gonna that's a different time and a different place. But 1,000 different notifications talking about this driver to here, this driver, until the Formula One app comes across my notification bar and says breaking this driver to this team. I don't care.
Yeah, so we're not going to be talking about any of the rumors of Antonelli, Checo,
Liam,
the other dude, Adrian Newey, and all that. Like, no, we're not doing any of that until it's official. I don't want to deal with any of that. So there were some things. Obviously, the biggest one is Williams. I think this episode will be longer just because we're talking about summer break and the Dutch Grand Prix, even though both were not super exciting. There's had a whole lot happen.
Both were a little boring, so combine them together and they'll make one half exciting episode.
Yep. Probably the most likely outcome we all saw, even though I think, again, I've voiced my opinion that Carlos should be in a better team. Sorry, Williams.
That's what it is. We know where we're at.
We saw it this weekend, so.
Listen, we just need a break. Come on.
You just got over a break.
We just need a to be cut a break.
Yeah, again, so again, seen as the piece that was holding up the entire driver market. Hopefully it'll work. I mean, again, this was the biggest news from summer break. That wasn't a rumor. Which is not news, it's rumor. Again, just pointing that out. And we've been so talking about it every single race weekend since the start of the season, like we've been saying, that it really was like, okay, yeah, cool, it's official. Yeah. Good for I'm glad Carlos definitely deserves a seat on the grid. Williams is, I know, trying their best, but he's a top tier driver. Expect him with a top tier team, at least Williams is better as not just the back marker, but as a midfield contender. So
they're not Sauber.
They're not.
They've
Sauber.
scored points.
God,
believe it or not.
Sauber.
One of them has anyway.
I was like, I do believe it. Almost got points again. Well, we'll get to the GP. Anything else on Williams and Carlos? That was kind of it. Yeah,
pretty much it. Glad for him. Glad to have him.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to him being on Williams next year. Sucks to see Logan go, but it's inevitable. I want to cheer for him. I can cheer for him in a different motorsport. But yeah, no, I don't think he's quite there for F1. I think he needs to maybe check out Indy, see how he can do there. If Indy doesn't work for him, put him in NASCAR. That's where his brother was.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah. Drove for Sargent Motorsports, and then some unfortunate circumstances happen, i.e., I think his dad, who was running the team, owed like a lot of money in a settlement, and they were like, well, gone.
Oops.
Other
thing, of course, Oliver Oakes. Coolest fucking hardcore band bassist name ever. Now the new team principal. Sorry, Alpine structure so fucked I can remember exactly what his title was. He is just team principal of Alpine F1. So good for him. I've been saying for a long time that Bruno was not a good team principal. So bye. Have fun at the factory. While you guys still have it, because you guys aren't going to sell. Don't talk about rumors, but that's kind of,
it's writings on the wall.
Yeah. So that, and then RB technical director, he's on garnered leave, so I don't really think I want to talk about it huge right now. Yes, it's another major technical director leaving in the wake and all that, and plays into all that. We've gone over all that a million times. I don't want to talk. It's been said, been done. Anything else over summer break?
It was hot.
It was very hot. Was the summer break. I was tired of everybody saying midway point. Like, it's not. We had the midway point already.
We had that episode.
Yeah.
I did a breakdown of where everyone was at standing-wise and everything.
So that was my annoying thing. But that's the thing I said. I feel like there was so much hype into the summer break where it was going to be. I feel like even with the infamous 2020, was it 2021? No, it's 2022. With Seb.
Oh, Seb, yeah.
I feel like even that was sort of silly, but sort of chaotic.
Well, as soon as he went, it was like, okay, well, we need someone at this team right now. And so there's Fernando. And then a couple things from there to even the teams out and everything, and you're good.
Yeah, so I just think we'll ever, even though that one wasn't like maybe the craziest, it was still entertaining. Well, last year, we had nothing last year, really. Maybe a little. We had some midseason with Nick DeFries and all that, but
the way silly season really kicks off is if you have a sudden vacancy, not if you have a sudden signing. Yeah. That's how Seb's worked. Is he suddenly had Aston Martin suddenly had a vacancy where he was, and so now that's got to be filled by someone else's position who has to be filled by someone else's position who has to be filled. In this case, we already knew Carlos was leaving. I was like, Charles is signed for a while. Lewis had just signed for a while. So now he's got to go somewhere. Well, there's a spot.
Yep. And then you announce your junior driver's driving for you, and then he's like, I'm not. Go fuck yourself. And oh, Oscar. Which leads us into, let's get to the actual Dutch GP weekend. First thing was another Aussie. Jack Doohan.
Jack! I'm so excited for this. Like, sign me up, inject this into my veins. I will become an Alpine fan only for Jack Doohan.
Yep.
Pierre, don't get me wrong, great guy. tripod. Call me anytime. But Jack Doohan, oh my God, I'm so pumped for him.
I might have to put a different rating on the podcast for that joke. Oh man, yeah. I was like, same thing. I was like, this was one of the things, and I feel like either way, if it was him or, of course, Mick, we would have been happy. So I'm okay with Jack. I was obviously Mick had his chance, so I'm not. And it still looks like Mick might still have some running even this season, but
There's still a couple of seats that are open up
Yeah.
there. I've got 3 spots that are unfilled.
but yeah, is it 3? I thought it was only 2.
It is technically 3 because we don't do rumors. It is Mercedes, Sauber, and Haas. No, not
No,
Haas.
Haas is set.
Who's the other one? I think there's one more. They're down at the bottom of my board, but I don't. It's covered up right now, so I can't see it.
I really thought there was only 2.
I'm pretty sure I made reference that it was 3 as well, and then I joked that it's probably just 2 because of Antonelli. But yeah,
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We can look at it here in a second.
yeah.
Yeah, so the fun fact with this is obviously an Australian driver, Australian junior Alpine driver. Have you seen this one before? Hi, Oscar. How are you? This is the first Alpine junior graduated to F1 driver since 2009 with Roman Grosjean. So,
What
Yeah.
a burning star that guy. Yeah, you're gonna have to change the rating this week.
Jesus.
I got
seen a
not
driver-
enough sleep, and so I am bouncing off the walls right now.
I haven't seen a driver as hot as Grosjean since Jos Verstappen, so there we go. Now we've both contributed to the hell. Yeah, no, I'm happy for Jack. I feel like he definitely deserves it, and I think you should do well with Pierre, and hey, they can actually do TikToks in the same room with the drivers.
God, that was so awkward. I finally got that to come across my feed, and yeah, no, that's really embarrassing.
Yes. All right. More on to the weekend. It's a Dutch GP. It's Max Verstappen Palooza.
It's the Orange Fest.
Not a lot of orange this week. Again, we'll get to it. I feel like we do a lot of foreshadowing. It is a narrative tool, you know. FP1. We did have a junior. Had a
Schwartzman?
No? Was it Schwartzman?
I thought it was.
Did
I
we
thought
have
I
2
remember
juniors?
reading that. No, I think there's just one.
Yeah, but Schwartzman would have been. Oh, I guess it was with Stake, so
I can pull up the technical document.
because he was sitting in for Valtteri Bottas, which maybe they needed the extra practice this week, at least to get the car working, because something was wrong with that Stake more than normal. Their pit stops were fine. Now the car just sucks. They can't blame the pit stops. They just have to have the shitty car now. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, wet to dry, FP1. A lot of drivers taking off that turn 1 little gravel trap and turn road. I was going to say Nico was the only one that crashed, but that was actually FP2. Was
Schwartzman, yeah.
Okay. I knew he was like a Ferrari, so very big Ferrari, but he's going to be...
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
that is Ferrari.
So I thought he did some with Ferrari. Has Ferrari done... I think we got to look at the juniors, because I think a lot of teams, I mean, they usually wait till after, everything's secured. but-
Ferrari already has a replacement person. At least for the year.
Yeah.
He's going to Haas next year.
Well, that's the thing, he's done some practice. All he's done practices with Haas,
Yeah.
so he's done like multiple sessions. Anyway, tangent. God, immediately already attacking Checo for going off in turn 1 when everybody went off on turn 1 at some point.
So many people.
Max did a fucking circle like he likes to do. So lay the fuck off. If you're still dogging Checo, get me new material. That was my take for the weekend. So anyway, I don't think anything too exciting. Nico shunted it in FP2. Not even shunted it, just went off a little bit. I don't think it was too bad of a fix for anybody. Then there was FP3. Wet running. And our good boy, Logan Sargent. Fairly significant. I mean, obviously for that, but like in the... Like, would have killed him just 20 years ago kind of crash. So, and was very much airborne.
It's stuff like that that makes it hard to impossible to defend Logan Sargent, at least in the F1 realm. Earlier this season, I was gung-ho. I was all for him. I was ready to defend him to the death. Stuff like this, man, I can't. I absolutely cannot. I was like, just stayed on the curb and stayed on the curb and then stayed on the grass, and then now you're in the wall.
Your car's on fire, so your engines has problem. Your color, obviously. I mean, maybe it's a good thing the floor got damaged because it would have been a double DSQ.
God.
Hey, it's our namesake again.
Yippee.
But yeah, I mean, Logan's fine, of course. So that's, ultimately the important thing is, the safety of F1. We always try to encourage and all the steps for safety is he jumped out and walked away. It was fine.
Sure did. A little bit of fire, but, is what it is. That's showbiz, baby.
Mm-hmm. Which was raining, so interesting. Did you see the marshaller fumble the fire extinguisher jumping over the wall?
I did not.
Yeah. Totally just fucking dropped it. Which, again, it was raining, shiny red surface. I mean, it makes sense. But
Red make it more slippery?
yes, scientifically.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
No. Just glossy red. I mean, it's a fire extinguisher. And it's not Monaco, so it's not gold-plated. But yeah, so this could very much be kind of we don't do rumors, but we will talk about how, Logan is done after the season.
Yep.
I don't know Williams is a midfield contender, as we stated earlier. So, is it almost worth it to, again, we'll mention the rumors, we won't give them credence yet, but we'll mention the rumor of, after this race next week in Monza, Mick Schumacher, who, let's be honest, maybe not even have a better track record with keeping a car out of a wall or a spin either, taking over.
To be fair, better car,
Yeah, true. Better teammate.
better team
Definitely
principal.
better team principal.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Gunter, we love you, but yeah.
Yeah, you were not leadership
We're looking
material.
at the results now, too. It's like, oh, Gunter, I love you, but man. There's some hard facts we got to look at this season. I think we're learning some hard lessons.
Yeah.
But, again, I've definitely want to see Mick back, so I'm okay with it. And this is where it leads into the point I'm going to make of, again, rumored and Toto let slip that Kimmy's going to be the next driver. Look what you guys just did to Logan Sargent. Do you want to do that? Now, you could argue that Kimmy definitely has the just raw talent better. But we've seen raw talent drivers.
People
Also-
thought he was talented as well.
Yeah.
People thought Logan Sargent was, but he has the talent for F2, F3, etc. He doesn't have the talent for F1.
Now, again, it was like, well, why not give Kimmy the same chance we're giving Logan? And I get that, but you're going to start Kimmy straight up in a top team 1 year before a huge overhaul in the regulations?
Beyond just a top team, like 3-4 years ago, this was
The
the
dominant team, yeah.
team. Like they had won championships in a row.
Lewis was unstoppable.
The Lewis Hamilton dominance could bore fans.
That's the thing. I was like, I don't hate Kimi Antonelli. I just don't want him to get Logan Sargented.
Yes.
Sargented. But
Hey, you never know. He could be not as good, and they could decide, oh well, Alex Albon seems to be doing pretty good. Swap him around. We don't do rumors. Every rumor gets just pushed by us.
we made that rumor. Yeah.
You heard it here first. If it happens, it's me, baby. I'm the one. I'm the one who put it in Toto's head.
She's wearing the Williams shirt right now. By the way.
As I always do.
I
on
wore my
Sundays.
Red Bull USA shirt yesterday, and then I was going to wear my V-Carb shirt today, but they disappointed me, so I don't get the shirt. So yeah, Logan, we'll see. I guess we'll see that announcement coming up soon. I would hope, if that does happen, we don't get it race weekend. Obviously, we're right into Ross week.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm kind of tired of Ross week.
Oh.
Everybody hit it so hard after the summer break. It was like, especially watching, with a meme, I'm not going to name the dude,
Yeah, with the meme
Yes.
channel
But the several F1 meme channels,
that get used with like Microsoft Azure or whatever
Yeah.
for the voice.
like it was like 8 in a row of Rossiek. I'm like, all right, it's funny. It was also 2020. Like, it's
Listen,
fun
when it
every
gets
now and then.
overdone, and this is
So.
when it gets overdone, is after breaks. But yeah, you'll be getting it again here in about 4 weeks.
Because we have another break. I think we have, because it's Monza,
Monza, then Baku.
Break.
or
Baku.
Okay.
and then is it Baku, Singapore back to back, or is there a week in between? There's got to be a week in between.
I would. I don't know. I do not know, and I dare not check.
Although I might have my phone. I can probably look. But anyway, we'll see. Again, I hope it being, it's Monday in, they're not Brackley, wherever Williams is. Milton Keynes? No, can't remember. But-
Somewhere in there. Somewhere in England.
So hopefully, again, I hope we get it. It's officially Monza week, so don't wait till last minute, please. Of course, and part of the other rumor is whether it be Mick or getting Liam on loan.
Is it already Monday there?
Uh,
Oh, it is just barely Monday there.
it's just barely Monday. Okay,
I
so
think
I'll give him a couple
depending
hours.
on daylight savings stuff. I don't remember where we're at right now. I don't think we've clicked back over into 6 yet, so we might still be on 5. So it may not be Monday yet.
And okay, yes. So it is Italy a week, and then Baku and Singapore back to back, and then fall break, I guess is what we're calling it, and then Coda. So
Kota.
some action-packed little break, and then so we're like getting back into it hardcore, and then not back. Anyway, love you, well,
I'll miss you, Logan.
yeah. Again, there's some politics stuff, but I think being moved back. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll get into that.
It was nice having an American driver in the sport for a little bit.
Yes, and I feel like him and Alex got along pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Torque Talk is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, they seemed like they were super best friends.
So, better than what's going on at Alpine.
Eh.
I think let's get to the quali,
The quali.
which Lando pole. Kind of it seems like the McLaren is the dominant car. Yeah, it's pretty somewhat. Dominant.
It is the fastest car on the
Fastest
grid.
car.
Everyone has agreed at this point that it is the fastest car on the grid.
So not so much of a surprise there. Exits, I guess, Lewis and Carlos.
A little bit shocking, yeah.
Shocking exit. Of course, because of Logan's shunt, so no running for him. 107 rule wasn't even enforced, but they still allowed him because I don't think they've ever not allowed someone under that rule to race. Correct me, someone. I'm sure.
I think well before we started
Yeah.
watching, but
Not
that
in the
was back
modern
whenever
era.
they had actually quite a few teams.
Yeah.
I think it was still the 24 drivers era, but still.
And yeah, let's talk about the big thing for quali. Let's get the pain out of the way for you. The best qualification for Williams this season, Alex Albon, a P8. Everyone was excited. Everyone was happy, and then they had to go and measure the floor.
Joe Bauer, I'm really starting to get tired of your shit. No, the rules are there for a reason. You go over a millimeter, and then you'll allow another millimeter, and then another millimeter, and then no one's following the rules
And
anymore.
then you're Matt Duchesne, and you're 2 feet offsides, and now you've ruined the entire league with offsides. Oh, that's hockey, sorry.
Yeah, no, I get why the rules are there. I get why they have to be strictly enforced. It sucks. I need Formula One to give Williams a break, please. We need a win, and not just not a win-win. I will take a win-win,
point.
but we need something to get our heads back in the game. I think we may have had something like that this week, but just everything's trying to punch us down into the ground, and it's getting kind of annoying.
I don't know what part they measured. And of course, Williams is like, well, our internal measurements didn't show we were off, but they're like, we're not going to fight it. Okay, cool. We'll think that. And of course, with Logan crashing his car, there was some question of like, do they have 2 compliant floors because they had to use one on Logan? Do they have another one to get Alex's car back compliant? So there's a whole other thing there. But we just talked about Logan Sargent. Logie Sarge starting P19 without even setting a lap, out qualifying his teammate without even doing a single lap.
And then on top of things, which getting ever so slightly ahead of ourselves, but then actually starting P18 because Kevin Magnussen had to go and break Parc Ferme.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I do want to mention, they reported Williams going over curfew. It was the first time of the season. I want to dispute that because they 100% had to in Australia. Because they didn't have the spare chassis. So they had to try to fix it and then switch everything for Alex. So 100% they broke curfew in Australia. So this had to have been their second time. Unless it's per like half a season or something. But
no, I'm pretty sure that rule is per season. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Standard quality again. Some exits. Checo has improved a little bit. I think we not enough to be like, oh, he's on form Checo again, but
yeah,
enough to kind of quiet down. That's it. The race.
That's quality.
The race.
The race.
It's Russ.
I was like going into it, already chaos with Logan's FP3 crash, meaning he can't set a time in quali, so he gets sent to the back. Albon DSQ, so he gets sent to the back. K-Mag breaks Parc Ferme, which means pit lane start, so that means he gets sent to the back. So already a little bit of chaos there.
Yep. Lewis gets the 3-place penalty for impeding.
3-place penalty there, yep.
On Checo, so a little bit of moving around.
But I mean, for everybody else, just keep it clean. Lap 1, turn 1. Everything should be all right.
Yeah, so we had a conversation last night. Was like, I was doing the math. I'm like, and you kind of backed me up on this. So like, if nothing happened, turn 1, lap 1, turn 1, nothing was going to happen all race.
Exactly.
And then I was like, I think my prediction is I was like, maybe I should make a video, post a little short real fast, have you do a prediction, me do a prediction of turn 1, lap 1. I was like, Lando and Max, I think they'll be fine. You have George Russell. You have George Russell in the top 4.
George,
Somebody's
you
not
just turned in on me, Russell.
Yeah. So something was gonna go wrong. So that was my thing. Is like, him and Checo are gonna do some shit, and George's probably gonna be instigator, and hopefully Max. I say Max and Lando would be out all right from each other. I'm totally we've seen how many times we've seen George Russell just he turned straight in on me. No, he didn't.
No, he in fact did not.
You just went. Hi, Carlos. How are you? You know the pain. But they all behaved. And Lando, despite allegedly working on his race starts, dropped a couple spots. And Max Verstappen was the race, and everybody was like, well, okay. And like I said, I feel like, not that, I say, I said this. I think it was a general thing of like, yeah, lap 1, turn 1. Other than that, Zandvoort's kind of a set in stone race, for the most part. But there's some overtaking. There's some good overtaking.
There's quite a bit of overtaking, just not a whole lot of major overtaking. I feel like most of it was done in the pits.
Yeah. So they made it out of there, and of course, the Red Bull it's fall from grace. Do you have what lap Lando finally got on him?
Lap 18 was when he overtook on the start-finish straight.
Yep, and that was it. That was kind of it.
Yep, just go. Just zoom.
So there was a little bit maybe for second and not second and third, for third and fourth between Charles and Oscar. Oscar was trying maybe some strategy. Oscar maybe still not great on his tire management, although everybody was doing super well on tires, it seemed, this race.
Oh yeah.
So
Albon trying to pit in on lap 13, go one stop the entire time. That didn't work out, but did all right.
Yeah, man, but I was like, I don't think anything else really happened during the race. I was like, it was the statistic I already said, and I saw too, was a 67% chance of SC VSC. But yeah, no, I don't even think we had a yellow flag.
No one went off dramatically or anything like that.
I think we had maybe a couple locks, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And not even major locks. Like,
they kept zooming in on Norris's tires as he was going over the little curb with the gravel on it. And I was like, there was still definitely curb that you could see the entire time. So it was like he wasn't going over it too much or anything. Nothing crazy.
I was like, only penalty was Lance for just. I mean, I feel like that's an incredibly short. I think it's the first time I've noticed how short that pin entry is.
Oh yeah, super short.
But of course, it's Lance, so he doesn't know how to use his brakes. So
it used to not be a chicane. It used to just be
Straight
full
in.
send. Yeah. So they edited that, and then now it's the chicane and all that. But it was like he did blow that speed limit.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was like, I think 5-6 kilometers an hour, which 3-ish miles per hour. But I mean that's quite a bit from F1 side of things, where normally it's like 0.1. I was like, he sent it.
So yeah, but 5-second penalty for him does cost him a spot.
It does cost him a spot.
Danny Rick going up there. I think
There was that triple overtake by Pierre.
triple overtake.
Like mid-late race somewhere in there. Just absolutely stellar. We thought it was Albon at first that did the triple overtake. It was not. It was Pierre.
Which plays into my stars, but do you have anything else for the actual race part?
The racing, no. As far as like the production value and all that go, I was like, the mixing was the best that it's been in a while.
True. We actually could hear the post-racing. Actually, no, we couldn't hear the post-racing interviews because the Chromecast we were watching, halfway through the last lap just cut off. It just died and just wouldn't come back. So I quickly got multi-viewer, which is on the other TV on my running off my laptop, up, get the international feedback up, use a sync, and try to get it up from there. Actually, so I guess we did hear the post-race interviews.
Yeah.
We did get up, so we just didn't catch the actual end of the fucking race.
I do like how they interviewed Max first, even though he finished second.
Which they did after quali too.
So, one of those things where they know who the star is.
Gunter, Leo Leclerc is the real star.
I think Max could have finished P7 and they still would have interviewed him first.
They would have done what they did for Joe in China and has had his own little placard.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you want to do the rundown before we do stars?
I can do that.
Because I want to double check my stats because when I was doing the stars, the Wikipedia page wasn't updated yet.
Yeah, fair enough. So the rundown for the Zandvoort Dutch Grand Prix. We had Lando Norris, who finished P1, started P1, so no gain or loss. Also got the fastest lap, which I can do all that here in a minute. Max Verstappen P2, started P2, so no change. Charles Leclerc gained 3 spots to finish P3. Oscar Piastri lost a spot to finish P4. Carlos Sainz gained 5 spots to finish P5. That's funny, I didn't even notice that both the Ferrari boys gained the amount of places that they finished in. I.e., Carlos gained 5 and finished 5th. Charles gained 3 and finished 3rd. Neat. Fun with numbers. Sergio Perez lost a spot, finished P6. George Russell lost 3 spots, finished P7. Lewis Hamilton gained 6 spots, finished P8, of course, starting with that 3-place grid drop because of impeding in quali. That is all of your lead lap competitors. After this, all are 1 lap down. Pierre Gasly did not gain or lose a spot, finished P9. Fernando Alonso lost 3 spots, finished P10. Outside of the points is Nico Hülkenberg, seems to be his favorite place to be. Gained 1 position, finished P11. Danny Rick finished P12, gaining 1 spot. Lance Stroll lost 5 places to finish P13. Alex Albon gained 5 places to finish P14. Again, quali disqualification because of the illegal floor. Esteban Ocon stayed where he was at, finished P15. Logan Sargent gained 2 spots after his did not qualify from his crash in FP3, finished P16. Yuki Tsunoda, which was the disappointment of all of it, finished P17 and lost 6 places. Kevin Magnussen gained 2 places after starting from the pits and finished P18. And now your 2 Stake Sauber boys finished 2 laps down. Valtteri Bottas in P19, Zhou Guanyu in P20, both of them losing 3 places each.
Sucks to be Sauber.
It does suck to be Sauber. I want so bad for one of them to get a single point. I won't.
And not just because it'll
Not just because
it'll
of
give us a point.
yeah, not just because of the predictions, but just like I hate seeing a team not get a point.
Which, and I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I was going to, was like, their pit stops were actually good.
They were. They surprisingly were. I didn't note theirs down specifically, but I was like, I tacked on a few extra stats this week for like awards and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Which I'm glad I had you do the rundown because it did have me change my third star.
Gotcha.
So, driver of the day. By the way, I'm sparing everybody my Lando rants. Yes, I still am unhappy with Lando. I'm still not happy he won. I'm very not happy he got driver of the day. But we move on. So I did vote driver of the day. Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc. Same here.
We may have done that to help
To
head
help
off the Lando Norris.
I was like,
driver of the
initially, I was
day.
thinking, Logan Sargent's up 2 places. I might vote him in. Saw the votes. I was like, well, Charles Leclerc it is. The breakdown, by the way. Lando Norris with 24.6% of the vote. Charles Leclerc with 17.5%. Lewis with 14 flat. Carlos with 8.6. Max with 7.8. And everybody else combined with a 27.5%.
Where did you get this?
So the
This is new information.
articles on the main Formula One website that tell you who the driver of the day is, it will give you a certain amount of them. In the past, I think it's only given like the top 3, but it gave the top 5, and then I just calculated the other from the difference from 100%.
Nice.
Thank you.
Because I actually didn't write down the percentage because I didn't see it. All right, so 3 stars.
3 stars.
You want to go first?
I can. Would
So I
you
changed
like me to give out the extra few little
Sure.
statistical award stuff real quick?
I was like, whatever. Yeah, that's kind of what's next to my notes, but however.
Yeah, all good. So, as mentioned before, Lando Norris had the fastest lap with a 1 minute 13.817. That was
So,
on the last
It's
lap
like
of
he
the race.
stole that right at the end. It was
Oh, he
Lewis's
absolutely
the entire,
did. Mm-hmm.
like forever.
Yeah, he only got it by like I think 500ths, something like that. So yeah, Lando Norris got that. Fastest pit stop of the race. Thank you, DHL. I think is the ones who do the
Yes.
pit stop tracking.
Yes, it is. Which
So-
is funny because I don't trust DHL to get anything to me on time. So
I mean, they at least get that to us on time. The statistics and everything. They're pretty on the ball about it. Fastest pit stop was AlphaTauri. Yuki Tsunoda specifically. On lap 32, they did a
Wow.
2.18.
wow.
And the slowest pit stop,
Too bad they bottled the entire fucking race.
goes to Red Bull, oddly enough. With
Checos.
Checos.
Yep. We saw that. That was a bad one.
4.45 on lap 29. And that is it of my extra little statistical things. I do have battle updates for the standings here, but we can do stars first. I would rather do that first.
Gotcha.
Do we want to start 3 to 1 or 1
Always
to 3?
do
or-
3-1. I think it's
3-1?
good build up.
Fair enough. I do want to pull this up just to have it on standby. Okay. So my third star was Lewis Hamilton. He had a very strong recovery drive this week. Obviously didn't make Q3. Had a 3-place grid drop, so that was something he was competing with. But he ate the grid drop, recovered to gain 4 points. It's not a lot of points, but it's invaluable with
That's
9
so
more races
little
to
points. There's the Steve reference we haven't had in a while.
Gotta have the one. Yeah, it's invaluable with 9 more races to go. I was like, your clock is ticking down. You got to get as many as you can. So, Lewis Hamilton.
My third star is also Lewis Hamilton, which is why I'm glad I had you do the rundown, because I actually had Pierre Gasly, because I thought he did a lot more. He had a really good race. I think that was just with my head, but I guess he didn't, change position. So I was like, and that was kind of my thing. I was like, I'm going to give it to Pierre. I was like, I've been giving it Lewis. I was like, Lewis still had a good race. It was kind of tight, like pretty close in my head. So I was like, I'll give it to Pierre. I haven't given Pierre anything in a while. But then I was like, okay, yeah, no, Lewis. I was like, it was a good, don't know what happened in quali, but he made it up, and which is not really surprising because it's Lewis. Mercedes has made some bounds and leaps and some improvements, but
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Heck
So,
yeah.
Pierre Gasly honorable mention, but number 3 also Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Sir Lewis Hamilton. A few other names. I actually looked that up on just a tangent earlier of like his full name and title and all that. Yes, but yeah, Lewis Hamilton. Number 2, my second star, Carlos Sainz. He started in the points and only went up from there. He finished P5, which is good points for Ferrari. So second star and third star were really a toss-up between him and Lewis. And yes, Lewis did get one more position than Carlos did, but I feel like Carlos had the tougher fight. He had to beat Checo and George, which, say what you will about the two in their, occasional skill lapses and things like that, they're still a better caliber of driver than, cover your ears, Daniel and Yuki and Nico. Everyone else that they passed were the same, so that part didn't really affect their fight. The other three, I didn't look off the top of my head, but that was the two battles basically, and I feel like Carlos had the tougher fight out of that. So, give Carlos star number 2.
Gotcha. I gave star number 2 to, this will make you happy, but also break your criteria, as we learned last race with George. I gave it to Alex Albon. Because even though he has, I guess it's a little different because his DSQ was quality, so he still did all the work in the race with a compliant car, which at least it should be because we haven't heard anything. It's definitely been like a few hours since the final classification came out, so. But yeah, he still made the best of what he could, starting way in the back. Of course, K-Mag helped a little bit, but it was good. Still a good recovery race. Wasn't points, but still good.
Heck yeah. Glad. My number 1 star goes to Charles Leclerc. Had a solid drive, gained 3 places to finish on the podium, which means he earned great points for Ferrari, which keeps them solidly in the constructors' fight, and maybe, hopefully, breaks him out of his post-Monaco funk, because it has just been downhill for him.
Post-Monaco funk is my hardcore band, actually.
Post-Monaco funk is just that sounds like a genre you'd see from Cowboy Bebop.
It's actually what Charles' next album is going to be called.
I mean, you can have that for free, Charles. I will not charge you 1 cent.
Charles, you're rich. We will actually be charging you. It won't be a lot, but they're just like, hey, just send a Ferrari shirt or something.
Yeah, just a Ferrari.
Send us a signed picture of Leo. Like, have Leo.
Oh
sign
yes,
it.
that is the one
Like,
thing I will
Paul
charge.
to me. Like,
Just sign picture of Leo.
Talk to Kim. Get a good picture of Leo. Have him put a little paw print and send it over. We'll give you the PO box. Fuck, we'll give you the home address.
But yeah, Charles Leclerc for my number 1 star.
My number 1 star is Charles Leclerc, but it's also Carlos Sainz. I went ahead and gave it to Ferrari in general because they both had great drives. They were communicative with their strategies, of course, the never-ending list of alphabetical strategies that Ferrari employs. But yeah, they both had good drives. Both a return to maybe not Ferrari's top form, but getting closer, getting to
Competitive form at the very least.
Got ahead of. McLaren. Sorry, Mercedes.
It's like one of the M's.
Yeah.
With
so
the
many.
Mercedes engine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like they both deserved it, so I'm going to give it to the team for both drivers. Ferrari, the number 1 stars for the race.
For the race.
For Zandvoort.
I did have a couple of honorable mentions. I did want to throw the Williams mechanics out there. They did an insane job with what they were given this week, which was a demolished car and having to respec Alex's car back to the old spec floor. Got both of them to finish ahead of where they started, which, yeah, the finishing positions weren't great, which...
but they were better when they could have been.
I just went through this before, 16th and 14th. It's not great. It's not in the points, but the story for how they got there makes up for it. Yeah. And then second honorable mention to Lando Norris. I'm not holding him in the greatest delight right now, due to how he's been acting with the weeks leading up to the summer break. Been a little shit, is what it is. But I do have to acknowledge the phenomenal win this week. Not just, winning, but beating Max Verstappen with a Max Verstappen margin of
At a Max Verstappen track.
Max Verstappen track.
Like the track that exists because of Max Verstappen.
So that margin was 22.896 seconds. And I kind of want to do something here, which is going to lead to quite a bit of either dead air or we can talk about something for a second. But I'm going to say now here in a second, and that's going to be when Lando crosses the line. And then I'm going to say now again, and that's going to be when Max finally crossed the line. I'd gladly talk in the middle of it. That way we don't have 22.8 seconds of dead air. But yeah, so Lando crosses now. And I just got a stopwatch going to time that out. Here in a minute, we will go through what I'm calling the battles section. So close battles within the drivers' championship and the constructors' championship. There's really only one battle going on in the constructors, few in the drivers. Now,
and there's still about 4 tenths left on that.
Yeah.
Too.
That's the difference in how bad he beat Max Verstappen. That's insane to me. But yeah, no, I have to give credit where credit's due on that one.
And I'm the same way. I'm very much not like I'm not gonna just keep it on the every week. My podcast is just bashing Lando for fucking 30 minutes. I'll leave that to my Twitter. So if you want to go follow me on Twitter, you'll see my Lando bashing on there. But it was so there. He got his first win in Miami. That was a win. It was just a win.
Yeah.
This was a victory. This was a safety car didn't make you fuck up. He lost turn 1. He used strategy and the skill and the racecraft and whatever else you want to call it to pass and build that margin. So I would say this is his first victory. He's still not a world champion. Stop saying that, guys. And that's one thing. I was like, everybody, like, he's up to 2 races now. Or 2 wins now. He's still not tied with Checo. He's not close to Checo. Yeah, he's not close to Danny Rick. He's only 1 ahead of his teammate, who's been racing for 2 less seasons. So that being said, hopefully Oscar will also get a more proper victory and not just a win. Because I feel like his win this, of course, his win a couple races ago was
little
definitely a little funk, little post Monaco funk smell on that. So.
Yeah, I did want to jump into the battles real quick, which we can lead into the whole Lando, not quite there, but getting there. So I got 3 battles going on in the Drivers' Championship. So first and second, which is Max and Lando. So Max gained 18 points this race. Lando gained 26. That makes the current battle 295 to 225, or 70 points difference. So you still got quite a few races that you're going to have to well overperform against Max. Max is going to have a couple of things go seriously wrong for him for this to be a serious competition. You got 9 races left, but it's pretty big of a difference. Into the 4th and 5th positions for Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz. Oscar gained 12 points this race. Carlos gained 10. So that brings their current point totals to 179 and 172. So Oscar with 13 points to P3, but Carlos with 7 points to Oscar. So that battle is very heated, very kicking up, especially with the rivalry that those two already seemed to have, which they may or may not have gotten that taken care of or whatever, just, chillaxed a little bit. But I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a friendly little championship battle there. And in slightly humorous news, Pierre Gasly has finally overtaken Oliver Behrman. Pierre is now P14 in the standings. Oliver is now P15. Pierre gained 2 points this race. Oliver obviously gained 0. So it brings Pierre to 8 points, and Ollie still at 6. Pierre is 4 points away from P13. Ollie will now be 2 points away from Pierre. We'll see if they ever get back into an F1 car this season. On to constructor side of the battles, we have just the top 3. It is Red Bull Racing, McLaren, and Ferrari in that order, 1, 2, and 3. Red Bull gained 26 points this race, McLaren gained 38 points, and Ferrari gained 25.
I was like, I'm looking at it to completely derail you. It looks like McLaren's data is missing.
McLaren's data is missing.
Yeah, because it's 404.
God. I'm just going to walk up
Get
from
derailed.
the podcast. So, it
Spoiler
is...
alert, it's 404.
It is a very close battle for the top 3. So Red Bull Racing has 434, McLaren has 404, and Ferrari has 370. So they are all about 30 points away from each other. McLaren 30 points from Red Bull, Ferrari 34 points from McLaren. So still a very close battle in the Constructors' Championship. You have the top 2 not score next week, and Ferrari takes the top 2 places. You could have them breathing down Red Bull's neck. It's anybody's game.
Including Stake, who is currently down 434 points from Red Bull.
Are they mathematically out of the championship yet?
That is math. I cannot do that quick. I'm going to say...
I need a spreadsheet to... God, that's what I'm going to have to work on tonight, as a spreadsheet to figure out when someone's mathematically out.
There's 9 races left, so if they got 1, 2 fastest lap, and, well, God, there's still like 2 sprint races, 3 sprint races
3
left?
sprint races. One of which is Coda, and then I don't remember the other 2. I think maybe Sao Paulo.
Qatar, yeah, Qatar and Brazil.
Gotcha. So, yeah. That's 8 and 7 is 15, so that's 45 points there. And then 26 and 18 for the actual races times 9. I guess that's math that we could do real quick. It's not too bad off.
I also have no idea how long we're at, so I think we figured this would be a longer one. But
oh yeah,
just because we're kind of like
absolutely.
condensing an entire summer break of boringness and a race of boringness.
Ooh, jeez. Okay, plus we said 45. How many points down did you say they were?
All of them. 434
434
from first place.
If they do not score next race,
They can be eliminated.
they will be
in
eliminated.
Monza. Nice.
It is a 441 points is the most that they could possibly get. So
That and everyone, yeah, and McLaren, and they would have to.
Red
Bull would have to
literally
DNF
win.
every race too, right?
Yeah,
Basically?
they would have to win every race, get the the fastest lap every race, and win every sprint race in P1 and P2, and then and only then could they defeat.
You add more protein.
Could they defeat Red Bull Racing?
Oh, man, poor Valtteri. I mean, poor Zhou too. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you needed, I was gonna stunt. I was like, did you see the? We could have had another Oscar Piastri office camera moment. They did a BMX thing on track today, and the dude ate shit on the other side of the ramp. So we potentially could add another Oscar camera look there. That'd have been great, but that's it. Not today. So guys, stop with the extra stuff. Also, Landon didn't break the trophy, so good job.
Yippee! That was quite a big trophy.
That was a huge fucking trophy.
Yeah. That thing was like a quarter of his height, a third of his height.
That's why I think he didn't want to break, because it probably would have fallen across him. If Yuki won that,
Yuki could have sat in the trophy.
Yeah. All right, this is probably again because we can't see the recording time like we normally can. So I feel like this is probably at least over like an hour and 10 minutes at this point.
Oh
probably.
yeah, I'm gearing towards I feel like it's been close to an hour 30.
Yeah, it could be.
And
Or
remember,
the
I have
recording-
the better sense of
Yeah.
time between the two of us. You dilate time a little bit,
Yeah, or the recording failed and none of this made it.
and I will just scream like Charles Leclerc in a French Grand Prix, crashing into a wall nose first.
Gotcha. Well, that was it. We made it through this recording. No kitten, luckily, brand new kitten. Just passed the fuck out over here, so no chaos. Because there's a lot of cables that could easily be just yanked and destroyed. So there's our real star is little baby Ludo for being passed the fuck out over here. He is out too. He is gone. But that is it. We survived summer break. We have Monza.
Monza's up. We return to Italy for the shoe-shaped track, not the weird, twisty one. This one's the one with turn 1, turn 2 chicane that brought together Max and Lewis, or is that Imola?
I know it was an Italian race. So
Yeah,
it's probably-
again, that's all that I know. I know this is. Oh God.
probably. That
Here's
sounds
the problem: we don't know enough about the Italian tracks to differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
Ask us about the American tracks, and I could tell you exactly which one it is by
So-
turn 1.
Yeah. Even the new one, I was like, it's a pig.
Yeah.
It's a pig. It's also expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, off to Monza as we still have 9 races left.
9 races.
So many
That's
races.
so many races.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't want to commit to episodes because clearly, if we commit to episodes, we don't do them.
Yeah.
I do want to yell at some F1 journalism because God, some of you guys are just 1 factually inaccurate and 2 just clickbaity
I'll
shits.
fucking name and shame right now. The fucking
GP fans,
GP fans, and the Judge 13.
and then honestly, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
just
absolutely.
as bad now.
Yeah. No, I get those from time to time. I'm like, this is awful, but I get less of theirs.
Yeah.
GP and Judge are the 2 that pop up the most frequently on mine.
that are just absolute garbage.
And
Just
listen,
bullshit.
this is all opinion based. This is what we think. But like, if you have a problem with that, fix your fucking journalism.
Yes, do that, please. That's why we don't rumors, because rumors are gonna be absolute bullshit. Anyway, that's enough. This is a very large soapbox we've been on for probably an hour and 56 minutes. So, on to Monza.
To Monza.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod. And follow the crew at Medic50 and at Golu Cody 30.